This episode of Muddy River Gems is brought to you by Dot Foods.
I think what it comes down to is the culture and the people.
Our culture here at Dot is like no other. I've never experienced anything like what I've lived with for the last 12 years.
Dot is very diverse.
It is truly a family-owned business, but it is a family inside and out.
You always feel like you matter and you play a big hand in the pot.
There's so many opportunities to make a difference at Dot and really contribute to the success of the organization.
5 years ago, some media pros here in downtown Quincy saw the media landscape change when local companies sold media to national firms. Now, 5 years later, Muddy River News is blossoming as a result. Bob Goff, you're at the ground floor on Muddy River News, 5 years ago now?
Yep, 5 years.
What did you think 5 years ago? Did you think, oh, we'll grow this thing and maybe in 5 years, but it's really has bloomed.
It has. We've come along a lot faster than I thought we would, and that's just because of the fantastic support we've had from advertisers, sponsors, and the entire community, quite frankly. We started out, it was just three of us, me, David Adam, and Brittany Bowl, and now we've got, I think we've got 7 full-time people. Wow. And a handful of part-timers who help us, and some other guys like Randy Phillips who pitch in once in a while. So
when you're talking to people about Muddy River News, how do you describe it?
Well, we are locally owned, along with the publishing group in rural Adams County. They also have the Elliott Publishing Company. They have the papers out there, and they're fine little papers. But in Quincy, we're the only locally owned media group now. And since all the other people have sold out to the big corporations, we're locally owned. It's myself, it's Jim Rapp, and Mike Kincher for the 3 owners of the company. And what we have done is just try to grow this thing.
Mm-hmm. But what do you call it? Because it's not a television station, it's not a newspaper.
An online news site.
Online news site.
Yeah, and we have not only Muddy River News, we have Muddy River Sports, we also have MuddyRiver.tv, which that's where we house the fine videos we have like Muddy River Gems.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much. Can you show us around?
Sure. Well, this was our first office. This is the main office. We have us, and then Randy kind of hangs a shingle here sometimes for the work he does.
Randy, by the way, is shooting
Randy
this
Phillips,
video right now.
that guy. He's your cohort here. So, and then we kind of posted some stories that we've had over the years. We've had some pretty big ones. We've broken some news around here. This was originally like one of our first studios that we kind of used, but we're going to show you the studios that we have grown and expanded to that will be opening up here later this month. Currently, this is our main production studio. This morning, we shot weather with our friend meteorologist Brent Clare and also Nathaniel Jones from Farm and Home Supply.
Is that a daily thing?
That's a weekly thing.
A weekly.
Every Thursday, they shoot this, and basically, we put it directly to Facebook, and then we share it on Facebook, then we'll put it on our site, and we also put it on the morning show that we also produce that runs on Friday morning. So Brent, of course, is a very knowledgeable meteorologist, and he had some fresh weather information for us this morning for some storms that hit Adams County. So we were able to do that program. A little later today, we'll record our Club Muddy program. So we do a lot. We do about 12 podcasts a week here. And then, of course, just the regular content, the written content we have. Michelle McCormack is our director of news, and she just does a fantastic job of that. And she goes and gathers probably 75-80% of our news. And then myself and Shane Halsey and some other folks kind of cobble some stuff together.
If you want a sort of a flavor of the amount of stuff that's going on, there's your whiteboard over there. And you've got a rough schedule of when everything happens.
Yeah, that's kind of the recording schedule, so we can have the studio kind of moving, and then we swap emails back and forth about the stories that are going to be on the site, because again, we are mostly written sites. I believe we are close to, since we launched 5 years ago, we've got about 25,000 different articles on Muddy River News that we've accumulated over the years. And Then we also add the videos. Our YouTube page has over 1 million views since then, and that's for different programs. You know, our YouTube page is what we use to kind of be the storage for everything, but then we slide it to muddyriver.tv, so it's housed there. But in order to save server capacity and a lot of other techie stuff that I just don't understand, we use YouTube, and we link them there, and we embed the YouTube videos on our sites.
Now, for people that aren't familiar with Quincy media, you mentioned that the local media is no longer locally owned. We're talking about WGEM, which was forever locally owned.
Yes.
The newspaper, the Whig.
Yeah. Both owned by
HQA.
Quincy Media, and for years, I mean, the Oakley family, the Lindsay families, they were wonderful stewards of journalism in this community. I mean, I worked for them, a fine small town paper, a good small town TV station. It's just a little different when you're not locally owned anymore.
Yeah, and you were part of that system.
Sure.
You had the knowledge, the journalism knowledge, and your partners to come over and start this up, and here you are 5 years later, and you're blossoming.
Yeah,
That's
my
just
partners
terrific.
asked me to kind of restart this thing and kind of get into local news because we kind of saw the writing, writing that was on the wall with the other companies. And yes, with my 30 years of journalism experience, I went to the finest journalism school in the world, the University of Missouri-Columbia.
Yeah, I've heard
that. So it all kind of just
this is
fell
new.
together.
Where we're going is new, isn't
This
it?
is going to be the new studio. We will be unveiling it later this month. Randy has been building it for us, but he has other projects and other duties. So, but we're mostly done.
Yeah, but
with
terrific
this.
amount of space.
Yeah, and then Randy bought himself this nice pilot's chair to
Well, he
run
should have
everything.
an
He and Shane
ergonomic
Halsey
chair, yeah.
produce most of our programs here. But what this is going to enable us to do, if you saw the other space, it was rather cluttered, and you got to step over cords and such. This way, those cameras that we had there, we're going to put in the middle of the room, and they'll be right in the middle. So you have this walkway, but then we can go from set to set to set to set and do different things in different programs. And all of our podcasts, we can just move them all in here. We also had the issue of just people kind of tripping over each other because you'd have people in this studio, in the what we call the green room, waiting on people to come in. You'd have people wanting to be interviewed for news stories. You'd have reporters trying to gather facts for news stories. You had salespeople trying to make sales calls. We were all really on top of each other, and we really needed the extra space to kind of make this all happen, a little smoother flow. And this new space is going to be great for us. We've been wanting this space for a while. The former tenant had kind of been hinting and hemming and hawing that they were going to move, and then they eventually did. And our landlords over at Mark's Commercial were really good at doing that. They're wonderful landlords, and
adjacent.
We signed a new 3-year lease
in this mall downtown Quincy.
Yeah.
And across the hall, there's a new sports studio going on.
That is, yes. We got that space first because we wanted this one, but we knew we needed some more space anyway. That one opened up. It's a little smaller. I'm sure Randy will show you some pictures of it. But then when we had the chance to get this, we'll keep that space for a little while and kind of see how it goes. But this is really going to be the kind of the nerve center of the podcasts and the streaming and everything we do. We will continue to focus on writing stories over in the other space. Michelle McCormack has her own office. I have my desk. Brittany Bowl comes in and writes fantastic feature stories. Shane Halsey chips in on meeting coverage. We've still got. And then we've got plenty of people to bring the news in. And the nice thing that we do is we have all of our, the local bodies, the local non-for-profits, everybody who wants to get their message out. They'll send us their news releases. We look at them, we check them, we double check and just make sure, hey, everything's okay, and get a nice picture to go with them. And we'll run their news releases and let them know great things going on around here. I mean, Hannibal, the Hannibal Regional Hospital just got $9 million from a family's estate, and that same family's estate gave $1 million to 3 other entities in Hannibal. Yeah. So it's news like that. It's not all just court stuff. It's all not just it bleeds, it leads. We really want to try to tell good stories, and that's what Michelle has really been. Her strength has been is to really tell real news stories. Let's just not do the quick hit, clickbait stuff. Let's talk to the people in our community.
In television, you got Nielsen or other platforms to tell you how many people are watching. Do you have any way of finding out how many people actually look at Muddy River?
Sure. Like I said, our YouTube page just topped 1 million views overall for its first 5 years.
Wow.
Google Analytics, we can look at that and see that we probably have close to a couple 100,000 unique views a month on our site. site. So over the course of the years, we'll have a few million on there. We have millions of page views each month. So yeah, we can, the funny thing is about when you go old school, like Nielsen, Arbitron, for us old timers who remember that kind of stuff, and it was kind of nebulous. And this, we can actually go and say, hey, this is what our Google Analytics say. This is what our YouTube numbers say. This is what our Facebook numbers say. We have 45,000 followers on Facebook now. So, I think we've come a long way in 5 short years.
Yeah. Matt, you made this truck kind of famous, didn't you?
It's funny how it happens. I mean, it's funny how an idea that you throw around in the office and go, hey, let's try this. Let's see how it goes. And then it's like, well, what do we call it? Mm-hmm. And the whole idea was just to do interviews sitting on the tailgate. Mm-hmm. Okay, great idea. Okay, what are we going to call it? Hey, let's call it Shuck on a Truck. It's taken on a life of its own, which is really cool. And thank you to all the people in the community. Thank you to Schottenkirk Toyota who sponsors Shuck on a Truck and all that. Because if it's not for that, this doesn't take off the way it did, for people embracing it, letting me park. I have coaches and athletic directors that let me pull the truck into the end zone at football games. So I'm sitting there right behind, and people are, wow, there's a truck in the end zone, yeah? Yeah. And people come over, and just like you are, people will come over and be like, hey, care if I sit down? Nope, go for it.
This is where the guest usually sits.
Yeah, that's where the guest.
So you might have a coach, or you might have
anybody. My most recent one was with an Illinois Conservation Police officer. So you just it's a conversation. It's a place, and think about it. Especially if you're a hunter, a deer hunter, what do you do during deer season? You go and you stand around the pickup and look at what the harvest is in the back of the pickup. Great ideas are born sitting on a pickup. Mm-hmm. You tailgate. Tailgating comes from pickup trucks. Right. There you go. So why not? Why not?
Who's sitting behind you?
Oh, he's just a guy. Just some guy that just decided to drop in and decide he wanted to be in the shot.
This is not fair in any way, shape, or form. But I am sitting appropriately where I should be behind Matt.
No. But no.
You two make up the sports department, right? Are there others?
Shane
Halsey's part of our staff. He does news and sports, majority of sports. So yeah, he's part of our staff. And then we got others. We got stringers that help us, and some photographers and people that contribute.
Well, when it comes to like Friday night during football season, I mean, it's probably so hectic that you couldn't possibly do it the two of you, right?
No,
because
there's no way.
There's scores from all over the place.
Shane will be at a game on a Friday night. Chris will be at a game. I'll be at a game. We have other guys that help us with video, with stories, that kind of stuff. Yeah, when they say it takes a village, it truly does, because
organized chaos.
Yeah. So and luckily I have him right alongside me to help out and bounce ideas off of and to keep me in check.
Okay, just for an example, it's a Friday night. It's the middle of football season. I want to go online to see what's going on. What are my hours where I can get you guys? Can I get you live, or how do I get you?
Well, no. On a football Friday night, we will be on social media, and if you get on our Facebook pages, on our Twitter accounts, on things like that, you'll see he and I posting updates. Here's where we are tonight. Here's the games, and then we'll update scores throughout the night and that kind of stuff. Then you have all the fun of the games, and then the work happens, and that's when we go. So the goal is by 7 a.m. So kind of like all my years at the Herald Wig and all his years at KHQA.
So you're working late into the night then to get ready for the next day.
You've got to be a night owl for this job.
Okay. So
and what we want is that feeling of when you get up on Saturday morning, like you used to open the newspaper and see all the scores and all that. We want you to go to Muddy River Sports and have it that way on Saturday mornings.
We're extending the fun into the weekend for people that, Friday night is an atmosphere, it's a whole vibe and a movement. But we want that to carry over because you don't really get a chance to celebrate it in the moment. You come home, you're exhausted. You played a game, you traveled long distances, and this is a chance for us to kind of give people a chance to pause, reflect, and then really kind of drink in what they've seen from the course of their Friday nights.
Chris, you do some other things too, besides sports. What else?
I do a little bit of other stuff. I actually have my own sort of wine blog, video wine blog at this point, called Sports Winal. When I was in television, I used to do a Friday night show called Sports Final. So this was just kind of the outcropping of a long time self-taught interest in wine. For me, wine is the cheapest form of travel in the world. For a $12 bottle of wine, I can go to Argentina.
Portugal, maybe.
I can go to Portugal. I can go to France. I can go to Washington State. I can go to Napa Valley. So it's just something that's always interested me. They talk about the concept of terroir and, being able to taste where a wine is from the soil and how it kind of comes through. So I've always been fascinated with that. I think it's the same with people. When we tell people stories, it's kind of the terroir of who people are.
Yeah.
You know, they are from the soil that they came from, and they're the product of their upbringing and all the circumstances. You know, Shuck is one of the best storytellers I've ever seen in any venue, market, of what it is. Basically what we're organically doing is telling stories, whether it's wine, sports, or whatever it is we do.
And that's what and people have embraced what we do in that regard, because if you get up on a Saturday morning and want to see all the highlights from a football Friday night, we'll have video highlights from our guys, and not just Chris, but our staff. We'll have photo galleries, we'll have stories. The last few years, I've been going to a game and doing a Shuck on a Truck post-game with a player of the game, that type of stuff. Or just whatever story might come up. So if you're looking for the Johnny scored a 6-yard touchdown, Jimmy scored an 8-yard touchdown, if you're looking just for the basics, you're not really going to find the basics. We're going to give you stories. We're going to give you, my goal throughout my career has always been find something that the person sitting at the 50-yard line or the person sitting in the bleachers at a basketball game that was in the gym or at the field didn't know. Didn't know how it happened, didn't know why it happened, didn't see it happen. If I can tell that story every time I go somewhere, there you go.
Shuck on a Truck, how many episodes?
We're at 190 so far. So we're
Unbelievable.
So we're nearing 200. So we gotta. He and I have already started putting our minds together on who should be the guest for number 200 or some sort of special guest. And what you got to realize is it's not always just been one person on the truck. We've done team Shuck on a Trucks multiple times. We reserved that for when teams get to a state tournament or do something that's never happened before. And it started, and great story. So Quincy Notre Dame girls soccer team playing at the state tournament in Naperville at North Central College. And the way it's set up there's a media parking lot that leads up to the stadium, and there's this big courtyard outside the stadium. I wanted to just pull my truck up into the little driveway, and we were going to do first time we were doing it, but a team Shuck on a Truck after the girls won the state title. They wouldn't let me park. There's like, well, we might need to get carts or something through that driveway. I was like, okay. And the athletic director at North Central College just pull it all. I parked in the middle of the courtyard outside the stadium, and we did Shuck on a Truck with all the families around, and you could hear people cheering in the background, and that's become a thing. And I have people ask me all the time, when are we going to get our Shuck on a Truck? Well, you got to win something, or you got to do something that's never happened before. You do those things, or something that hasn't happened in a really long time. There are tiers to it. You don't just get on the truck. You got to earn it.
You guys are unique. Thank you. Terrific.
Thank you.
We'll be back shortly with more on Muddy River News' 5th anniversary.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Why work at Dot?
You could list out individual qualities forever.
There's a lot of opportunities. They take care of the employees, they take care of the community.
So our pay, our benefits, it's competitive. Time off, tons of flexibility.
They're willing to work with you to help you advance.
For 5 great years.
Wow, 5 years.
Can you believe it? 5 years.
5 years. Thank you.
For 5 years.
I just want to thank everybody who has supported Muddy River News as we approach 5 years. It's just been a really special thing to be a part of. Millions of people have looked at the site in 5 years, and we really think we've built something special. Thank you for helping Muddy River reach 5 years.
Thank you.
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 And we're just getting started.
Brittany, you saw Muddy River open up 5 years ago. In fact, you were here, weren't you?
I was. Yes, I was.
And what were you doing then, and what do you do now? I mean, I wear a lot of hats, I guess.
I do. 5 years ago, before this all started, I was bartending at Spring Street Bar, and it was one of Bob Goff's favorite bars. And it's obviously one of my favorite bars. I actually still bartend there. So I juggle, like you said, many hats.
So that's how he found you?
Yes, it's how a lot of people have found me, to tell you the truth. So yeah, it's presented a lot of opportunities. I've been there for 17 years, and I love it. But yeah, my parents always told me, so both my parents are in media, and they both told me, just don't ever get involved in media. And of course, I listened to my parents.
Well, we all did, didn't we? You're even more visible now, though, because you sit at this desk several times a week.
I do.
And you have podcasts that you host. Describe them to us. What do you do at this desk?
Okay, so I never really actually planned on being behind the desk when I started. I think I was sought after because of my writing. That's the thing that I like to do the most. But news has changed, and the way to get things done fast is to talk about them. So podcasts are a wave of the future, and once I realized that, I kind of pushed for them, but again, I didn't know that I was going to be behind.
That's right. Don't throw an idea out unless you're going to carry it through with it, right?
Very true. Very true. So the first one was Club Muddy. That was actually Bob's idea of like a mesh-up between Bill Maher's like Club Random, and then I suggested to mesh in the model of Smart List, like having, multiple people on and a rotating guest. And we tried out a few things, and next thing you know, I'm one of the hosts for it. So that's kind of, that's been, I think, like our longest running.
Club Muddy is still running.
Yes.
And you have Coffee Talk
is
one of them.
Coffee
right?
Talk. That's the one where, we drink coffee and we're not in the club. Club Muddy is sometimes miscued for, being rowdy, because we do drink some cocktails provided by our great sponsors, our local sponsors. Quincy is a big bar and drinking town. So it's like sitting in the bar, basically, and having a cocktail and having a conversation, and we're generally talking about news.
A cocktail, what difference does it make?
It also makes for the best guests sometimes, Get them a little loose, and you never know what kind of stories you're going to get.
What's the third podcast that you work on?
So then I do the Coffee Talk, like we were talking about. That's where Ashley and I get to sit down and either talk about news, our personal lives, or whatever comes to mind. It's a little shorter, no guests generally. It's her and I have a great relationship. I've always loved her and admired her from afar, but we really grew close here. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting to be behind the desk, and Bob tried to put me behind here for basic newscasting things, and it wasn't the shoe that, like I said, I wear many hats. That hat one, that didn't fit.
Describe, though, because you're sales and marketing too, right?
I am.
And social media.
Yes.
So
I'm good at talking to people, I guess, one-on-one, but when it comes to a camera and, rehearsed, I just lose it. And I knew somebody that, could fill it, and she can fill anything on the spot. She's amazing. And like I said, not only my co-host, but probably one of my best friends. Okay. So I get to host that one alongside her, and now I get to host Muddy River Mornings with her as well. So we're like Thelma and Louise.
Well, thank you. It's been great visiting with you.
It's been great visiting with you, Mark. Thanks.
Chrissy, you're the most recent employee, and we're getting on 5 years. We're observing the Muddy River News celebration. What do you think?
It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm so excited to be part of this. I feel like they've really all done an amazing job. I've been a big fan of them all, in awe, and so proud of what has been happening here. And I feel really honored to now be a part of it and take over, and hopefully be here for another 25, 50 years. Who knows?
Who knows? What about tell us about your program.
Oh, my show?
Your show.
Okay, so I did my first sale that I did. I also pitched a show with it, and they bid on it. So it's called Carpooling with Chrissy. I have launched 2 shows now. The Mayor Moore, was my first guest. She was phenomenal. We get in the car. My son drives for us, and we feature a new Kunis car, of course. And then we talk about whoever my guest is, what makes them, happy, why they do what they do. And then we sing a song. It's really fun. So really the idea is to brighten people's day and give a little entertainment and the warm and fuzzies of,
Well, it's kind of ingenious when you think about combining the sales with the show.
Yeah,
it works,
of
right?
course, of course.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, it's great.
Ashley, we just heard great things about you because we were talking to your partner who shares airtime with you. So
Miss
she had
Brittany.
she had a lot of good things to say about you. She
Good.
thinks the world of you and has a lot of fun with you. And it sounds like the two of you have a lot of fun together. Is that right?
That is, it couldn't be more right. She actually, thanks to her, I am a part of Muddy River News. So not only is she my best friend, which I hope comes across in everything that we do, but we're lucky enough to get to work together on things that are not only important to us, but to the community as well. And I like to think it's brought us closer together, and I appreciate everything about her.
You're a host, right? You get to talk to whoever you want to invite in here.
Correct.
About whatever you want to talk about. Do you have favorite topics?
I really just enjoy people who are passionate about what they're doing. So it doesn't really have to be a certain project or a certain genre. I just enjoy people who love what they're doing, and the energy comes across and makes it easier to do my job.
You've been here 4 years?
Correct.
Okay, that's almost the entire history of Muddy River.
Almost.
So you've seen a lot of changes. Like what? Like what kind of changes?
Just progress in the community. Also through social media changes, you learn not only how to cater to who you're interviewing, but also bringing in the different aspects of progress or lack thereof in certain areas in our community. So building off of those, building off of those changes and learning to adapt and kind of overcome.
We took a tour today, and we're sitting in the original office space, but
The OG,
next door there's a new big studio across the mall. There's a sports area. So there's a lot of growth going on.
Yeah, we're basically taking over, and I don't mind saying that because I think it's necessary. Local news has a place in every community, but especially the one that we love. So I'm tickled pink to be a part of actually bringing local news that is not only community-based, but we just are threaded throughout everything we do in Quincy and beyond. And I'm lucky to be able to bring fair, balanced, and fun news. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Well, we thought we were done with the show, and then we got a call from one of our owners here, Jim Rapp, and he's going to talk to us a little bit. Mark's already on his way back to Springfield, so he's going to talk to us a little bit. And Jim, I guess the question is, why start a business like this?
Well, it was kind of an accident when Quincy newspapers and its various iterations decided to sell out. We felt it was leaving the community, and one of the most important things to have in a community to make it vibrant is to have local news. And whenever there is a takeover by large companies, the local news suffers. And that's broad-based and well-known throughout the country. And it was kind of coincidental. Martha and I, my wife Martha, who's been very instrumental in the success of Muddy River News, we were reading the Sunday newspaper, the Quincy Herald-Whig, and we noticed, the Quincy Herald-Whig is going to be for sale. That the whole conglomerate of their TV and radio stations, they were going to be sold, and we said, what's the future of Quincy when it comes to news? And I said, well, why don't we try to buy it? Meaning the Herald-Whig. She says, oh, Jim, forget it. It's already been sold. And having had a long career at Harris Corporation and how big business works, she said they've already made plans to sell it.
Sure.
But I wasn't going to just let that sit idly by, even though I normally pay full attention to whatever she tells me, and she turned out to be absolutely right. We nonetheless reached out in conjunction with Bob Goff to try to acquire the Quincy Herald-Whig. That didn't get anywhere, but then we said, you know, we still need local news, and therefore Martha and I, along with the Mike Kinscherf and of course Bob Goff, proceeded to form Muddy River News. And frankly, we're proud that we've kept 5 years of success together.
Right. Wait, the dynamics of a place like this. Talk to me a little bit about that and how we've integrated into the community here.
The fact is that our slogan from day one, number one, we tried to pick a name that had something to do with this area.
Right. Muddy
River News. I've often said I respect the history of the Quincy Herald-Whig, but the Whig Party hasn't been around since the 1850s.
It hasn't? What?
What? I know you're still a member. And also when we came with a theme, our home, our news, that's what we were looking for.
Right.
We wanted it to be purely local. What's really been gratifying is that it has actually attracted some of the leading journalists of the community that have formed a part of this because they have one common interest, and that is local news. And unless you have local reporters, and Martha frequently says, a reporter you can go in and put your arms around their necks and start shaking, you're not going to have really good local news.
Exactly.
And dealing with somebody in Atlanta or God knows where doesn't do anybody locally any good. And I think we've really achieved that local sense. And we've been able to not only expand just news, but also in the TV area, the TV Plus area, on the internet. Things have changed immensely. The long interviews that are done, and even the program that you're working on now, they tell things that otherwise would not be told.
We're pretty proud of this program. We did, for Illinois Stories, the program we did before this, Mark and I did before this, we did 1,240 episodes of that over 19 seasons. We're now coming up on our 4th year of this here with you all, and we're very happy with what's going on. What do you think the future of Muddy River News is?
Let me back up. One thing with you and Mark, I mean, those are great programs.
Right.
They're historic, they're informative, and they're important for this community to have that type of thing. But here's a good instance where, frankly, public television dropped them. And now we've taken that on.
Exactly.
So we are backfilling what news traditionally was attempting to do.
Exactly.
And so you ask, what is the future? I think more of it, more expansive. One thing that we've tried to do is, we've had compliments, we've had criticism. At times we're a little edgy, maybe a little times too edgy, but we're trying to be creative. We're trying to look at what we can meet this market and how we can satisfy the needs of this market. And so what do I see as the future? I think that we will continue to expand, to grow. We've expanded into additional facilities. Since day one, we added, of course, Muddy River Sports. I say that we are the leading source for sports news in this region.
Can't argue with that at all. Not with the guys we got in there.
Indeed, I don't think that anybody challenges us on local news either. I think we are the leading news source of this area. And then we've added Muddy River TV Plus. Now, we've had some ideas to expand some ideas even further. One thing that's important, though, is that we get community support. And frankly, that's primarily through advertising. It's been through some contributions of support. People keep asking us, oh, well, when are you going to have a paywall? We just don't think Quincy would ever pay for it because there's too many options out there. And so, but we still, with the support of our advertisers and the community, we intend to grow and expand and hopefully have more investigative, more in-depth programs than we've even had so far. So I see the future as very bright, provided this community wants it. If they don't want it, well,
so be it.
That's their loss, and I think it's a downward trend for this community if we do not favor, support, and have local news that we offer.
Well, for everything you guys have done, and I'm not technically an employee, but I do a lot of work here, and I appreciate everything you guys do for me, and I think the community appreciates everything Muddy River does for it. So thank you very much.
All right, keep it up.
We will.
Now, after 5 successful years, Muddy River News is looking forward to putting its new space here in downtown Quincy to work to grow for at least another 5 years. With another Muddy River Gem brought to you by Dot Foods, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
This episode of Muddy River Gems was brought to you by Dot Foods.